Hi there, welcome back to Aroundtable. I am your host, Steven, and today I'll be talking about the second episode of season 3 of The Mandalorian, this one being called The Mines of Mandalore. So we're continuing where Mando is on his quest for redemption. So he heads back first to Tatooine and talks to Pilimoto to get a memory chip for the IG-11 robot that killed itself in the previous season in order to save Mando and Grogu and the gang. As they find out, the Jawas are able to find this piece, so Peli gives them an R5D4, in which he wants to use it to verify how safe it is to go back to Mandalore, because supposedly it's uninhabitable, poisonous. You can't survive there. It's been decimated by the Empire. So according to Bo-Katan, this place you cannot live there. So, but of course, he is resolute and determined to redeem himself in this. So he's going to give it a try. And he goes off to Mandalore. Interesting episode, a lot of adventure. This is back to Star Wars adventure. Might be a little scary for some. If you're younger viewers, it might be a little scary, but really, really good episode. Like the first episode, I said it was a great overview of what we think this season will be about. This one gets back to strictly that one adventure. It's streamlining the narrative on this one. This is basically redemption for Mando. So he goes to the planet, the R5 unit. Of course, something happens and he has to go out and rescue it. And he comes up across these Alamites, who are creatures that used to live in the wasteland of Mandalore, who we thought were probably dead from the massacre of the Empire, but have managed to live underground. So he fights a few off with the dark saber. He has a hard time making sure this thing is heavy for him. He is not able to, it takes a lot. He does win, but it's a very difficult battle for him. He does get hurt. He gets hit quite a few times, and he has a hard time handling the dark saber. But him and Grogu continue their quest, and as he goes down, he kind of finds something in the mines in the sand and pulls out a helmet, but it's a trap. And I love this part. This shows when the guys from Star Wars want to be imaginative. There's this kind of General Grievous type creature down there, part spider, part crab. It has one eye. Very, very interesting creature. Very frightening. Very scary. Very well done. The effects on that one, hands down, some of the best I've seen in a long time. And it shows when the guys in the creative side really want to take this series or franchise and make it visually stunning. They can do it, and this is great. This is where it's scary. So this thing captures Mando, and kind of like looks like it's removing his blood, his life essence for some unknown reason. We don't know the full reason why it does this. So Grogu tries to help him, but the creature is going after Grogu now, and Mando kind of tells him, "Go find Bo-Katan to help rescue me because he can't do it on his own." But still, Grogu is showing his force, that he's capable right now. He's getting older, and so as he leaves, he uses the force. He gets the robot, the R5, to navigate back to Bo-Katan. So this is showing growth in Grogu, that he's not simply going to be this little baby forever. He's going to get better, and hopefully, as the series goes on, we see him mature and get better and bigger, which I think is exciting and pretty interesting to see. Of course, Bo-Katan at first seems to think it's Mando back, and she's not interested in going on his quest. But as she sees it's Grogu and kind of realizes something has gone amiss, and goes back to Mandalore with him. Now, when she gets there, goes to the same effects, meeting the Alamites, but she's a little bit more combat ready, so to speak. And when she gets to help out Mando, she grabs the lightsaber and destroys that creature, that cyborg, very easily with the dark saber. The way she handles it, it's a totally different. She sways, she moves, kind of like if anybody ever seen Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon, the way she flows with the blade, it's part of her. very interesting, and maybe foreshadowing the future, how they're both going to handle it, and how they're also their views are different on this thing. Mando is really old school, and believes in the creed and the code, and Bo-Katan has kind of lost faith. But again, then she does agree to bring him to the water. She knows the place. She lived there. She knows. She mentioned she ruled there, so she knows the place like the back of her hand. And as they get close to the waters, as Mando's going into the water, saying his creed, she kind of reads out this plaque about the myth of the Mythosaurus, who's this gigantic creature that was tamed by Mandalore the Great, and used its, the face of the creature, its horns, is part of the symbol of a lot of the Mandalorians' armor. And you see it like placed on doors and stuff. And during the series, that creature with the horns, that's a mythosaur. It becomes part of their culture, their DNA. This is a very, very interesting thing. How as she's reading the plaque sarcastically, Mando gets pulled in, and she goes to rescue him, and she finds him at the bottom of the well, or the whatever you want to call this, lake, or the water. As she brings him back up, they come across some mythosaurs. Thought was interesting. So this thing is still alive. So basically, will this resurrect her need to revive Mandalore and bring it to glory? Is she gonna finally come forward and do this again? She seemed broken in the beginning of the episode. Will this change her? Will this put her on the same page as Manda, or where they go at odds? Because again, his creed is different than hers, right? So we see that there's a difference between the two, but there's a respect between the two, but there are very, very big differences. But I don't know if this would change her, but it is an interesting moment. I think an exciting moment in Star Wars, where we get to see these creatures that we've heard about and that everybody thought they were dead. So is this, and usually in cinema, when something's in a cave or hidden or underwater and brought to light, that's kind of like an opening, like, a second chance of redemption. So is that foreshadowing? Is that some sort of artistic way of them doing it, that Mandalore will be reborn? Is there a chance? It's a very interesting episode. A lot of stuff that could be exciting to see happen, and I was very happy with that. I kind of like went, hey, Mythosaur, like I was excited. I totally geeked out on that episode. Loved it. Great adventure. Like I said, the cyborg robot can be scary for kids, for younger viewers. So if you think this may be a little harsh for some, young. I'm saying, let's say 7 and under, they may jump, and this creature is scary. The Ultimites, if I'm saying the Alamites are kind of look like cavemen a little bit. That was very, they jumped out of nowhere. So if you have younger viewers, take heed. This is can make them jump and be scared, and it's okay. I mean, but it's still, all in all, a great Star Wars adventure. Again, the cyborg entity in the mines was very inventive. It shows when these guys want to do something, they can do it really well. So hopefully this brings hope for Boba Fett, that they're gonna start coming around, and because the Mandalorian seems to be on a roll for the most part. It's not too much hit and miss on this. Really great, exciting episodes, and it's inventive. I really like the cyborg creature. I wish I would understand what it's about, what a little bit more. Maybe I got to find out. Maybe there's something written somewhere. I'm not sure. Got to do a little research on that, but very well done. The special effects on that episode, I really enjoyed it. All in all, and again, the Grogu showing that he's growing in his powers of the Force. He throws one of the Elamites out of his way, with the Force, and he kind of starts to break the cage that Mando stuck with the cyborg entity. Showing that he is growing and that he's able to navigate, use the robot, use the R5 to help navigate to get back to Bo-Katan. Really shows growth in this little character. So, because I said, they're going to use him as a cute little baby for, 6 seasons. I can see myself getting a little tired of that. But showing that he's evolving and becoming stronger, is really an interesting thing, and that he's making words, little mumbles. Will he be speaking eventually? That's something else that I was wondering during the episode. So there's a lot of potential for the series still to go, and it seems like a great adventure to still be had. So all in all, for me, great episode. Loved it. It seems it's really, I like that they kind of refocused back on Mando's quest for redemption, as opposed to showing, like, the first scene was basically everything that could happen, what's going to happen, what they missed. This is really streamlining it, and it's about Mando and Grogu, and they're both trying to find redemption and growing and becoming the people they should be. And I think that's it, hit the sweet spot for me. So all in all, great episode. Let me know what you think. This is Steven saying, this is the way.